Good evening, my friends. These 14 American cities have a target of banning meat, dairy, and private vehicles by 2030. This is the Federalist. That steak's overcooked, by the way. If the C40 cities' climate aims are carried out, people will die. So, I agree with that. Let's just look at the cities here. A bunch in China. The Chinese people don't really have a choice. But in the United States, Brazil. I'd love to see how no meat goes in Brazil. But, yeah, we'll see. So the United States, all lefty shitholes. Austin, Boston, Chicago, Shitcago, Houston, Phoenix, LA, Miami, New Orleans, New York City, Philadelphia, Portland, San Francisco, Seattle, DC. All lefty shitholes run by Democrats. So I bet when that group gets together, it's a fucking blast. So 14 major American cities are part of the globalist climate organization known as the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group. There's not going to be much leadership in that American bunch of mayors, which has a, quote, ambitious target by the year 2030 of 0 kilograms, 0 pounds of meat consumption, 0 pounds of dairy consumption. Count them, 1, 2, 3 new clothing items per person per year, 0 private vehicles, fuck you, and 1 flight less than 1,000 miles every 3 years per person. So the C40's dystopian goals can be found in the future of urban consumption in a 1.5 degree world. And if you feel like boring yourself to death, you can watch or take a look at the 68 slide PDF, 68 page PDF. That's just a bunch of words thrown together, basically. Doesn't make a lot of sense. So the report was published in 2019, but it was re-emphasized in 2023 because we are 6 years and 4 months away. The organization is headed and largely funded by Democrat billionaire Michael Bloomberg. Note, he will not consume 0 meat or dairy. He will have all the new clothing he possibly wants. He probably has 80 private vehicles, and he probably owns his own private airplane. His own private jet, and he'll use it whenever the fuck he wants. Fuck you. Like, that guy, he gets away with it. We can't, however. Nearly 100 cities make up the organization, and I covered the lefty American shitholes. Media coverage of C40 cities has been relatively sparse. I'm going to put this video up on YouTube just to see if I get fact-checked, because they're saying the fact-checkers are all over the story. So there's a quote from the original Future of Urban Consumption, which reads, this is a disclaimer, by the way, this report does not advocate for the wholesale adoption of these more ambitious targets. Rather than they're included to provide a set of reference points that cities and other actors can reflect on when considering emission reduction alternatives and long-term urban visions. Hey, wake me up when these cities in China start doing something about it. Hint, they won't. So that's why we shouldn't do anything about it. Anyway, so here they're trying to say that they're changing the meaning of the word target. In this context, is usually defined as a desired goal. So the target of eliminating meat, dairy, and private vehicles by 2030 is based on this is bullshit, by the way, based on a future vision of resource-efficient production and extensive changes in consumer choices, i.e., you're not going to have any meat to buy, therefore you're not going to be able to buy it. So watch what's going on as far as ranches, livestock, chicken, plants, etc. Note that there have been a lot of destruction in that industry over the past 2 years. The report notes something the authors clearly hope to bring about. If these were not their goals, they would not have labeled them ambitious targets. Okay, some more fact-checking bullshit. And New York City Mayor Eric Adams is incrementally moving the goalposts, or moving the needle, my friends. He said the city will place caps on the amount of meat and dairy served in city institutions, such as prisons and places that resemble prisons, public schools. Meanwhile, the UK has banned new gas-powered vehicles after 2030. I'm from Missouri. We'll see if that happens. And France has banned short-haul flights to cut carbon emissions. Doesn't really do anything. Is China doing anything, France? No. I don't know why you are. So here's the Great Reset. We've covered all this before. The Great Reset is claimed to be about climate change. It is definitely not. It is all about social control. It has nothing to do with the climate. Because if globalist leaders cared about the environment, they wouldn't be chartering private jets or own massive energy-consuming mansions on the coast of California, which should have been told we were told those would be underwater. And of course, the WEF plainly stated in the 2016 promotional video, "You will own nothing and be happy." And hedge funds and rich people are buying up homes and farmland all over the world and impoverishing Westerners and annihilating the middle class, which is generally more harmful to the environment because wealthier nations have cleaner environments and put less strain on natural resources. So the climate activists advocating for climate lockdowns. What the fuck is that going to accomplish? Are they doing climate lockdowns in China, in Shenzhen, or Wuhan, or Guangzhou, or Fuzhou? No, they don't care. They're building like 20 new coal plants a month. In the same way for the COVID lockdowns, ideas for a climate lockdown have ranged from shuttering people into their homes and restricted air travel to providing a universal basic income, which has failed dramatically every time it's been tried and tested. But you can do it correctly, right? Zero life skill lefty, in introducing a maximum income level. That's very Marxist. And the whole biohacking humans to be allergic to meat, we covered that already, that soy cuck. We shouldn't try to limit carbon emissions. No, listen, the Federalist. Carbon emissions probably don't do jack shit. They're probably, 400 parts per million now, 500 parts per million? I don't know. I don't care. When you measure something in the hundreds of parts per million, that means 99.99% of it is not carbon dioxide. So if you get rid of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere completely, all life ceases to exist. So good job. Environmentally friendly nuclear energy, which is safe and more reliable than wind and solar. It's a great way to wean our society off the reliance of fossil fuels. And for climate activists, they oppose nuclear energy, further undermining their supposedly good intentions. And these people that oppose nuclear energy, they think that they're never going to have a blackout or anything because they think they'll always have power because they're the virtuous ones. Ultimately, the climate coalition's goals are inherently anti-human. People generally need to eat meat and the protein it provides to flourish. Beef contains a lot of fat-soluble vitamins that the human body needs, and it also contains a good amount of fat for which your body can use it. The nutrients are very bioavailable, unlike kale or beans. Banning meat and dairy, restricting calories, genetically altering the human body, and impoverishing the masses will hurt the planet and people. It will do more than hurt people. It will kill many of them. That's their goal, too, by the way. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They basically want everything for themselves, my friends. They want you and I living in Chinese-style megacities, eating bugs and soy and worthless food like rice and bread. While they dine on the finest Wagyu beef, the finest caviar, the finest champagne from France, they'll have all the best they can get, but for you, fuck you. You better be happy. You better like it, and you better be happy, and you better not fucking complain, or else your UBI gets cut off, pleb. So that's it. That's all we're going to do. If you like my content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment. I read all the comments, my friends. Pick up some non-perishable food, and God bless.